How's everybody doing? It's wonderful to be back.
Let's go. Guys, we have the absolute treat and privilege today to be having the president of Trelevate here, Ryan Canals, a leader, man of God, and also just happens to be a super good looking businessman.
I have my moments, let's just say. I appreciate that. That's a nice
Absolutely.
intro. I will equal the enthusiasm and a heart and a passion. It takes one to know one, and you're cut from the same cloth, Bo.
Come on, come on. Hey, today, guys, we're going to be covering quarterly assessments, right? Quarter one, two, three, four, and why they're important, what it gives vision for the executive leadership
Yes.
and leaders to see from a company standpoint, how it even helps like a team member in a certain department to see, and then also what components within a quarterly assessment, and we just finished our Q3, so we're going to tell some stories behind that. But what makes it effective, right? You want to make sure your quarterly assessments are valuable and not just waste of time of people talking about their highlights or their failures.
Yeah.
So really good. Ryan, did you enjoy quarter three?
Yeah, I mean, wrapping, I can't believe we're going into quarter four. I mean, that's blows my mind that
Yeah.
we're already, closing out whether it was our key initiatives or, various strategies that we've had, outlined for the entire year. You know, corporate planning is something a lot of people dread because it gives visibility, to both good and bad, right? You always want to highlight, to your point, it's great to talk about the great stuff, but it's also, I think, transparently talking about the areas of a business that we struggle in, right?
Yeah.
And it's trying to uncover those where they're not identified as a person or a problem. It's how as a group can we circle around it and solve it,
Hmm.
right? And that's what we've really, since our earliest days have adopted what we call our Rockefeller planning, which is an organized, methodical, simple front and back page business plan for every department.
Hmm.
So every department has a front page which really outlines strategy and then key initiatives, and the back page then just breaks it down by quarter to say, let's narrow in on what are those top 4 or 5 main initiatives that we're going to put all of our energy behind,
And
because
and
you really can't have more than that at one
and
time.
every leader has that.
Every leader, every department
Every
has it.
department.
Yeah. Now we do waterfall that down to all of our team members that are interested in learning more. But it's kind of like I look at it like a Rubik's cube. Like you look at it and it looks like a really simple toy,
Sure.
until someone messes it up, and then you got to figure out how to put it back together. And most people, including me, have never really figured out how to do it. Give it to a kid that knows what he's doing, and they can solve it with one hand real quick.
In like 3.6
Like it's
seconds.
unbelievable. But they understand there's a pattern to it. And that's really what our planning is all about. It's a simple pattern. And the more that you do it, the more it becomes an easy to understand language. And then once the language is consistent, well, we know what, our strengths mean, or we know what a rock means, or we know what an initiative means. And then it just becomes easy for us to implement.
Yeah, that's huge. That's awesome.
So it's been good, but I mean Q3 was good. It was, we have some enormous goals, but they're all indicative of I believe the results and the relationships with our clients that we've really been establishing and growing. We've made some big shifts. I mean, we made
Mm.
some big shifts going from, Pennsylvania over into Ohio with some of
Yeah.
our partnerships. Just more fertile ground, more competitive offer, better landscape, and we're thriving. We are the number one partner in the entire nation. And it started with a small shift. It wasn't that we were doing something different.
Mm.
We had great people. We had great training. But you've got to play in a competitive landscape, and we got that now, which is great. So see some really good stuff, and then of course, without getting into details, the acquisition that our one partner has gone through, that has allowed us now to take a look at where we're only in.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit more?
Sure. Well,
Like where we
yeah.
started and where they're gone? That's huge.
Yeah, I mean it's enormous. Like this is a perfect example of what Trelevate does. Like
Yeah.
I really look at it like that. It's not, when you just look at it at the surface, we hire, wonderful people. We train people, and then we give them, great resources, obviously, to go do their job. But, you have to look at all the stages of what it is we do as an organization. And at the end of the day, we become their brand. Like, we become the brand in front of the customer, telling a story.
Yeah.
And it's not just a transaction. It's not just get the deal, get the close, make the sale, make the commission. We believe as an organization, it's about an experience. It's about the experience you create for a customer is what becomes memorable, whether we can do something now or whether we can do something later. That's what a customer holds on to. They hold on to that. Wow, there's something different about you. And funny, that permeates all the way up through the organization. It permeates in the way that we hire. We want to make every interaction memorable. We want to make every training that we deliver for people memorable. And ultimately, when we create relationships for our clients that they're like, these guys are one of a kind, that sets the stage for incredible growth. And that's what we have coming this next year, which is really exciting because our, 5 markets we have could turn into 10, 15, 50.
Yeah.
And it's all based upon how we continue to just grow strong, at our base.
100%. And, what's really cool is Q3, you guys very much highlighted. Are we allowed to say the name?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
sure. Yeah.
So Frontier Communications, they're one of the number 1 fiber providers, and they're based out of Dallas, Texas. DFW, and we partner with them for about 5 years now.
Yeah, this will be coming up 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years. And from somebody who hasn't been with the company for 5 years and hasn't even known Frontier for more than 9 months,
right?
All of a sudden I'm hearing about this company, and all I know it to be is this amazing, affordable, really high quality fiber company.
Yep.
And Q3, you guys were talking about, guys, we took a brand and a company that in people's eyes was failing.
Yeah.
And we have rebounded it, and now it's being acquired for like $20 billion.
It's a big deal.
Amazing.
It's a big deal. Talk about a brand cleanup. Talk about going from like the reputation you didn't want to be associated with to the number 1 net promoter score, which basically is an equation that says if I were to ever refer or endorse something to you, right? That's what a net promoter score means. How likely would you be to refer this to someone that you care about?
Right.
This is the number 1 fiber provider in the United States. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And that's all been within the last 3 to 4 years that brand identity has shifted. And I really believe that, we were a big part of it because we were there directly with the customers, helping walk them through an experience that wasn't just selling them something. It was creating a new way of operating their business. Because, think about it. What happens when your internet signal goes down?
Yeah, bummer.
You got a problem.
Big bummer.
Everything stops. TV stops, transaction stops, communication stops, video stops. The ability to literally run your business is over. So a reliable fiber connection, a reliable internet connection allows you to be able to really, really operate. And we've turned it into something really special. Yeah. And the growth potential now is limitless. Obviously with the acquisition, it could open a lot of doors. There's a lot of products. There's a lot of services that our soon-to-be partner brings that allows us to be able to create more value for the customer as well too. It doesn't just have to stop with a signal. It could be a lot of other business-related products that matter.
Yeah, and let me jump in on that and just say what you will humbly say. Trelevate as a whole has completely been a pivotal factor, a very much a key component, puzzle piece to that turnaround with Frontier. And I've seen it, and especially in Q3, we really highlighted it.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget what you said during Q3. You guys, you should be so proud to represent this company. Yeah. Like, you have had a personal impact in the reputation, net promoter score, like a real turnaround in community business success.
Yeah.
And that's just dynamic, which is what has led us to so many things and opportunities, and now even more that are coming through the door.
Yeah.
But Q3 really opened that up.
Yeah.
And I would say that was a huge component of just highlighting real encouragement.
Yeah, it's funny, you have to back up what you offer, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a world-class product. The service, what we put in front of any one of our customers, we always look at it. It has to be a tier one. It has to be something you would use. Has to be something that has a reputation, obviously, to back it up as well, too. That if something
Yeah.
goes wrong, well, what's your option? Plan B, Plan C. So our partners, our clients we represent, they really are world class, right? But no one, if a customer's not using what you have, no one cares. That's great that you have a reputation or you have a brand, that you still have to facilitate a change in behavior. You have to change and help them change what they were doing, one experience they have, and change that. And that process of shifting their behavior, shifting the buying behavior, you have to. That's people that do that, and that's really what I take a lot of pride. Even as we, have gone through, Q3 wrap and prep for Q4. This has allowed us to step out of the weeds, kind of just in the day to day, the week to week, the looking at the numbers, looking at the process, and say, okay, how do we look forward as we go into this next year to really help that message permeate through our organization of what makes Trelevate different. Because what makes us different, I believe, is a core belief that what we do can help other people and can provide something for other people that will better what they're doing.
Genuinely,
Authentically.
100%.
It's not just about the sale or the close. It's genuinely, I believe in what I'm doing. And that gets built over time. That's not just something you train and then you go do. It's something you have to experience. And when that becomes clear from the top down, I think it permeates through the organization.
Yeah, love it. Hey, let's look back here. Let's
Yeah.
wrap up. We talked about quarter three,
Yep.
and kind of inadvertently talked about it gives us a place to see, brought back to the core values of a company, brought back to the direction, and really what was our mission in the very first place, and to hear from our top leaders, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Reflecting over quarter three of what we just had at Trelevate, what was your favorite part? And I'll share mine as well.
Yeah, I mean, highlights always is the self-discovery. Like I look for, it's not the roll up and it's not the numbers. I mean, it's great to, self-examine the business and self-examine obviously the various departments. I love the aha moment where everybody in the room is like, "Oh, I got it." Or that's a great idea.
Did that happen during quarter three?
Yeah, we did have a couple of
Where
those.
did it happen?
We had a couple of those. Funny, which we've identified, which is one of our biggest challenges, is just the scope. It's the scope of where our teams are at, and people are all over the country, and teams are all doing different stuff, and you've got different people on East Coast and Central and West Coast. I mean, so you're operating what I always loved is a community type feel and a community that's consistent, but it's not just in one room. It's not in a building. It's in different parts of the country. So the aha moment was how we can improve communication, how we can improve both the schedules that we set so that it's not an overwhelming or, my hair's on fire, or I'm so busy, or I have so much going on, or I feel overwhelmed. That's no way to live. So I think we identified, for me, as I listened to all of our leaders and our support team members, share their insight and their feedback, it was how do we create schedules that are they're manageable and there's preparation that's allowed to go into it. And then you hear this word, and I don't know if it was you that shared it with me and it stuck, but it was that idea of that wedge space, that room to have action after the meeting before you're jumping into the next meeting. So that requires you to stop, look at your schedule, and look at what you prioritize through the week. Look at the areas that can very easily be wasted, and intentionally look to fill those with productive effort or connecting with the right people that help you get your job done.
And I'm just getting this idea here, but the wedge is the idea that instead of going back to back to back to back to back meetings, that fourth, third, or even second meeting, your head is still transitioning from the last, trying to get ready for that one, and then thinking about the next.
Yeah.
So that technically second or third or fourth meeting has been wasted. because you weren't there and present, right?
There's definitely the possibility, right? And
It's a bummer.
and things can get lost. Yeah.
And I think quarter three in itself, just a quarterly assessment, fills the gap of this is our wedge.
Yeah.
We're going to breathe from last quarter.
Yeah.
We're going to look to the next quarter. But then we're going to celebrate. We're going to challenge. We're going to realign. We're going to introduce. And it becomes its own wedge as a unit within the company. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't see that before.
Yeah. Well, is that what you took away from it? Was that your experience?
No.
Oh, you had
but
another
I
one?
just was thinking
That
about it
was a
right
good
now.
one.
I was like, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
but again, you brought that topic up, and it's allowed it. It's in that was an aha moment for me. So
Yeah.
whether you realize that or not, that conversation you and I had many months ago, that was like an aha moment. It was like
Phenomenal.
I don't even think about that. It's always about maximizing time. Think about how that spills over into everything that you do in life.
Right.
It's always about, well, I've got 5 minutes. What can I go do? Oh, I'm going from here to there. Well, what if I stopped here because it was on the way? And then all you're doing is now you're running late because I don't want to come back to this side of town. And that's this vicious cycle that we
Yeah.
get into versus really setting a schedule that is manageable, is efficient, and allows you to be productive and have room to feel good about it. Like that was one of our number one takeaways as an organization that we are focusing on to set ourselves up to go into 2026 far more effective.
100%.
Yeah. So that was a lead.
true.
That was one lead. Second lead was now let's go reestablish and clean out our toolbox.
You talked about that a lot.
Yeah. I'm hung up
Quarter
on it.
three, you really led with, we need to look at our tools. You said STST.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Good memory. Man, you're good. Can you remember it?
STST.
Come on, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Come on.
It was tools, schedules.
Schedule first. We said schedule.
Well, schedules, tools, something.
Standards.
And then
Yep.
time management.
Yeah, well, that leads to transparent
Transparency.
inspection.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. So that's our guiding
Schedules.
theme, right? Your schedule.
Yeah.
If I can organize a schedule that's manageable and efficient, and put yourself into the real world. Okay, let's go talk about something in life. So you come home, and you're excited about going out, and you're going to go rock climbing. Stoked about it.
Do you rock climb around?
I used to.
Oh,
I used
really?
To. Yeah, back in the day, you know.
Okay,
I
didn't know that.
I put my shoes on and climb some rocks. And had a buddy drop me. Is it called bowlaying when you're
Yeah,
hold-
bowlaying.
dropped me. I was like, man, that was not cool.
Yeah, that'll ruin it for
Didn't
you.
do it again. At least in that the context we were in. So imagine you're all excited about rock climbing. Just picture this, okay? And you come home, and your toilet's overflowing and spilling out.
Or your water heater breaks.
Water heater, that very near and dear to my heart right now. Let me tell you a whole about another story. Okay, and
Or Ryan's water heater
oh
broke
my
at his
word,
house.
I've blown my mind. Let me tell you guys, you don't realize how important hot water is till you don't have any. What do you do? Water spilling out over the top of the toilet. What do you do? What do you
Plunger.
do? Plunger.
Plunger.
What if that doesn't help and it's still coming?
I'd close the door, throw a blanket down under,
Right.
call the plumber.
Yeah. Well, okay. What happens if you can't find a towel?
Bed sheets.
Grab something.
There's
right,
something.
Right. I mean, like your
Stop
mind
the flow.
starts spinning, and it's like all of it. What happens when all of a sudden you have something that's taking you out of your groove? So the reason that, and again, this was an aha moment. This was the one of the three that really hit me. Was we have so many great tools here. We have so much experience. We're coming on 14 years of experience as an organization, but we don't. It's easy to misplace all the tools that matter. So when something like you got a toilet overflowing and you found the plunger, but that's not solving it, and the bed sheets don't work, and you have to turn the water off, or you need a tool to do it, where's that tool at?
Right.
So what one of the aha moments as we came out of is let's go through a reevaluation of not just what tools we have, but where these tools are placed so that we can organize them orderly so that when this topic comes up or this training comes up or this situation comes up, be it onboarding or be it, a ride along or be it a specific a tool that has to be refined with our team, like a training tool, all those tools are ordered. Mm-hmm. So if we do an inspection of those and then reestablish where they're at and how to access them, our team doesn't spend time wasting effort looking for something. Mm-hmm. Because again, if you know where that wrench is where you can turn the water off, hypothetically, let's just say that this was something I needed a wrench to turn something off. I can waste not just so much energy and time looking for it, but all of a sudden the problem gets bigger, right? More water spilling out. And my point in saying that was that inspection of tools then led our third component that we walked away from, going into our Q4 planning, was the ability then to reestablish standards and how we use them.
That's good.
Because a lot of people get stuck, Bo, using a hammer when they need to use a wrench, right? You just start banging on something. Why?
Yeah.
Because if I force through it, I'll just get through it. That's not the way to get stuff done. And I see a lot of people do that, is they just divert or default to what they're comfortable doing or the way they've always done stuff. So if we can reestablish not just how do I manage my time, where's the tool that I need, and then how to use it, it can really help set us up for a huge launch, not just with our existing growth and our clients. That's the byproduct of how competent and how skilled our leaders are to coach, train, and mentor them. So this is really geared to waterfall down, not just at an executive or a lead administrative level. This is meant to go all the way down from teams to leaders, down onto our newest person, that just got started, so that it helps create efficiency.
Yeah.
And that's our big focus.
It's even more impactful and very much so critical within a sales organization.
Totally.
When performance and numbers is the shining object, the carrot dangling before our eyes as we run on this treadmill. And so it's very important for us too. Like you said, I want to reestablish the standards that we live by. Business was moving. Okay, you skip that meeting. Forget, I'll do your paperwork. You go close the deal.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's for a moment. Then I need you to bring it right back in. I need you to regroup with the manager, whoever you're supposed to meet with. I'm going to review the paperwork with you. Just make sure it's done. You're on the next one.
Yeah.
Go get the next sales. But remember these things, and that's really important.
But those reestablishing in that case standards then allows for transparent inspection.
Yeah.
Which is I don't ever want to work with people that are just doing something to do it. I want them to understand the whys. It's so important, but then also understand how they can impact the outcome to become far more effective at it. And that's the heart of our business. That's the heart of Trelevate. From the day we started it to where we're at now, and it's easy to get stuck in, new programs, clients, or teams, and results, and revenue, and targets, and all that stuff. It's so important. But if you don't understand what you were meant to do as an organization, it's to build people with an awareness of how to get results that are manageable, and that you're not sprinting all the time, and you're not rushing all the time, and you're not feeling overwhelmed all the time. It's no way to live.
Right.
It's creating order to it. And that's really, those were the big 3 aha moments that I got out of it, that as I listen to the team, I can understand as an organization, how do we work together to solve it? It's not just one person dictating, or it's not just an idea thrown against the wall. That becomes now our theme that we really carry. And I already see great feedback coming out of our organization just on thinking in that order. Think about how important your day is. Think about the week. Think about where I'm at and where I need to be, and where I can create space to not just be busy, but to be effective. Right? And then when you have that in order, everything else follows.
Especially from quarterly perspective, corporate world, even sales world, to be more explicit, it is important to have those brought together. STST. And that, which also we'll explain that just in a second because it breaks down even further, but that has to be brought through and actually put down into paper and then held accountable by somebody.
Right. That's the inspection side.
In the inspection side.
Yeah.
And it takes the leadership to make sure it is enforced.
Yes.
Because if no one else is going to do it, I promise you the employees aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
They care about money. You checked their box already.
Right.
So raising those standards or reinforcing the tools or the schedule you're doing has to be brought from the top down.
Yeah.
And you and Paul both do it from a really great perspective. Would you share just a little bit about maybe even just your attitude when it comes to quarter 3? Like, what's your goal? What was your goal going into quarter 3 that you were hoping to have your team receive?
Our theme for the year has been Mission Possible. So that's
Yeah.
been the theme, right? That your mission, it's possible. It's possible when you do certain things, right? And those certain things have been outlined. And, as an organization, we have our 5 main key initiatives for the year that we're focused on, because it's about people and it's about process and it's about results. It's about branding. It's about culture. Like these are all things. So they become like, and funny, I have it right here. I mean, literally it is our, this is the signpost, the guidepost of what we're focused on. So it's got to be visible, right? So that's a big thing that I believe that things, when they're visible, they become real.
Yeah.
Right. You can say something and it might sit in a handbook, even corporate planning. Like if you've ever been involved with large organizations, I mean, their corporate plan could be like a book. No one's going to read it. No one's spending time in it. So if it's not simple and it's not visible, it's not actionable.
What does Garrett always say? He says something relentless visibility.
Yeah. I mean,
He says that over and over again.
I love that. Garrett's one of our prime examples of what a successful team member looks like, because he's such a great student. He's constantly listening to take information and then learn it, apply it, and then watch the results. And those are the people that they do the best, I think, in anything, is they're not just there in the room, they're actively listening. And then as they're actively listening, they're writing down the things that resonate with them, because then what it does is it gives them either a way of thinking through the problem or communicating an idea or using their time differently. And those are all things that we're constantly training on. So, the mission, the whole idea is mission possible. It was kind of derived from the idea of mission impossible. Like you can do something, but it's
Tom
not
Cruise.
Impossible.
Love it.
It's total possible here. But here's the areas or the stages, and relentless visibility is where it starts. So that's really where our plan begins and then gets acted on, is that it's visible, it's in front of us. I know the things that matter. I know what our priorities are. I know what our thrusts are, so that we can play in a sandbox, which this is all language.
What do you mean by that?
Well, so these are different components that, all right, I'm not looking at just the quarter. I'm looking at the year annually, right? I'm looking at the things we want to accomplish. And then I'm looking at where this can take us 5 years from now, right? So I'm looking ahead 5 years, so that inside of the 5-year plan where we'd like to be, right, there's things which are called thrusts, but it's called a sandbox, which means to get there, I got to be playing in this sandbox, which means I've got to be in this area, either doing this kind of investing or this kind of branding or bringing this kind of tool or this type of education, so that the team keeps growing. It's not just, hey, do more of what we're doing and expect it's going to grow. As it gets larger, it's going to require more support. So you got to be thinking about, to get there, I've got to be playing in this space, so that 10 years from now, right, which we call our BHAG, or big, hairy, audacious goal, where we want to be and what we want to be doing. And we're starting to move into that space. We're not working with clients that want to grow. We're getting into industries that are emerging. These are things that are coming on, that are going to have, they're not just big now, they're going to get enormous in the next 5 to 10 years. So we've got to be playing in the tech space and the AI space and, alternative finance tool space, that it really starts to become fascinating the way business is changing. Well, you've got to be out ahead of that, looking at it. So we have a 10, we have a 5, we have an annual, and that's all on one page, literally.
10-year plan, 5-year plan, annual year.
Yep. And it's all very simple to understand, but meaningful then when you flip it to the back. And the back is, what are we working on right now?
Yep.
So it all waterfalls down, and then every department has one of those as well, and then that one rolls up to the master.
This reminds me a lot of what we were talking about literally earlier today, about how leadership, CEO and president, both you and Paul, your guys' vision has to be for the next 10 years. Huge. Sky's the limit, right? And then the team needs to be boots on the ground with a magnifying glass to the gravel. They need to see what's going on so they can take those steps. And I feel like a quarter 3 is that perfect place where you can have two worlds collide, from the 5-foot view of the next step, from the 30,000 telescope view of here's the stars that we're aiming for, to lasso. And that's the beautiful culmination to coming together. That is awesome.
Well, I mean, listen, this is, I mean, it says it's biblical. It says, without a vision, people perish.
Yeah.
I mean,
The city,
any,
the
yeah,
city
yeah,
perishes.
city can perish. It's idea of, they say sight is what you see with your eyes, vision is what you see in your mind,
Amen.
right? So you have to have something bigger that we're all moving towards. We've always believed as an organization that the real success is taking a look at how people are evolving and growing. Who are they becoming? What kind of husbands or wives, fathers, sons? Like what? How are the people evolving? Because we spend so much time doing this. Wouldn't you like to think that we're improving, that we're getting better at the things that we do? If we talk about the way that I think or the way that I act or my attitude, that I can learn how to carry that into the way that I love my kids,
Yeah.
right? Solving problems or coming up with solutions that help us become more efficient. Wouldn't I like to think that that translates to how I become a better husband solving problems in the home? So that's the whole idea, is that it's an exploration. It's not just a job. It's not just a company. It's really that exploration of what our purpose is as a team. And if we can stay rooted, I believe, in that foundation of to elevate, right? Elevate yourself, elevate ourselves as a team to get better. We're thinking about getting better, because if we can elevate ourselves, we can elevate the future of where we're going. And that's the idea. It spills far beyond just work.
That's awesome.
Spills into our lives. And that's a company that has purpose. And that's our vision. That's our vision as an organization.
Yeah.
It's bigger than just results, bigger than just numbers.
You know what I love about this is because it shows, what I love is that what we set out to do happens, but it's not because we are focused on checking a box, but because there's an inward desire to accomplish what we wanted to set out to do.
Yeah.
And it starts from your leadership, and it goes into our leaders and into every single person. And it's honestly, genuinely the way that Q3 happened. You wanted to see three things come together: schedules,
Yep.
tools,
Yep.
and seeing their standards brought back.
Yeah.
And that was going to create transparency and unity coming together.
Yeah.
STST, don't forget it.
Let's go.
And I think with that coming together, your guys' just leadership and desire transferred into your people. And it starts with great leadership, and that's where Q3 kind of brings the glue together.
Yeah.
It lets kind of the distractions, the red herrings, the squirrels kind of leave, lock in, regroup, and set out once more again.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're coming to that most wonderful time of the year. This is now about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the harvest. It's like we've worked hard. Let's bring it in. Is it more? Is it less? Is it what we hoped for? But it starts with a heart of gratitude. It's like to be grateful for what you have, whether it's your health or your family, whatever that is. Everybody's that thankful meter, right? It varies, but it's time to do that, right? It's that time to then look to start to get into celebrating, right? Celebrating what the end of the year, the Christmas season, what that's all about, and what we celebrate and what we believe, and how that prepares to set us up for what our intentions and our potential is for the next year. Because there's so much more to this than just work. Like, this is totally about, I really think just connecting, people with results, people with what they're looking for, right? And if it's that hope to find a great job, or that to learn something new, or to create job stability, or to pay the bills, or send your kids to college, or just have fun, everybody's searching for something different, right? It's, I'd like to think that we're an organization that can provide a lot of different solutions, not just one type of outcome.
Yeah, 100%. And, I can't help but think of somebody listening right now, and they're like, man, I'm loving what Trailelevate's doing. Sounds like an awesome company. Certainly isn't what I'm at. And I'm like, hey, you know what? We always got a place for people that want to be a part of something great. Take a look at our website. Take a look at our careers page. Drop down below in the link. See our Instagram socials. And let's see if we got a spot for you. But like always, Ryan, is such a treat to have you on to share your vision, share your wisdom. I mean, this is pretty cool. Who gets to have the president of the company hop on for a podcast? So
this is easy.
You're a stud.
Coolest meeting I had all day. So thanks for the invite, and thank you as always for your passion to connect. I think people with who we are, and that's I think so important, is that authenticity always comes out in what you do. So I appreciate you as well.
100%. Hey, we love you, Trailevate Nation. Go get them. Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.